Okay, in the second video I was going to do some things with dominants, but I thought I would do approach tones first because there's a lot more you can do with the simple pentatonic, or any chord for that matter, scale. And last time we learned about the pentatonic scale, the major pentatonic scale, which is G, A, B, D, and E, and then up to G. And it's a 5-note scale, and it is essentially a 6/9 arpeggio, chord arpeggio, and it provides very solid target notes if you're in a G major type chord. Okay, so there are other things we can do besides filling in half and whole steps and minor thirds and etc. And to make it sound a little bit jazzy, remember I already mentioned approach tone. If you can approach any tone, say the A in the G pentatonic, by a half step instead of just going. You can approach that A by a G sharp. It's called a leading tone approach, a half step below. It can either be a diatonic note or it doesn't have to be a diatonic note, meaning it doesn't have to be in the G major key of G major, and the A sharp is not. Okay, you can also approach from a half step above. If I wanted to approach A, instead of playing just an A, I could play a B flat, and then I could surround it with G sharp, B flat, A. And that B flat is actually a blue note. It's the flat third of the G major chord. So it has a really nice sound. You can it gives you really jazzy, bluesy kind of sound, half blues, half major. It gives a nice sound in there. Other things you can do is you can approach from a whole step above. In other words, instead of playing just A, you can play B, A. So if you're going to go to an A, you can play B, A instead. Or you can surround it again, G sharp, G sharp, B, A. It's a half step below A and then a whole step above, a diatonic note above. Like that. Or vice versa, you can go B. You can decorate that note, and it starts to give you a small figures and melodic little sounds in there instead of just dull playing of the scale. You can get a lot more going on. Also, other neat things you can do when you go B to A, you can fill it in like that. So, and you can hit a G sharp, B, B flat, A. So what you're doing is you're going a half step below the leading tone below the note, and then a whole step above, and then half step into it, like. So I went G sharp, B, B flat, A. Or you can start up on the B and go B, B flat, G sharp, A. Like that. Or another nice one is B flat, B, G sharp, A. I'll try that again. Or I have written out some of these patterns that surround A on the information. Usually what happens is you have a leading. You always use a leading tone, although you don't have to. Steve Neff has a book of approach tones. He has 16 different ways to approach a tone. I think it's a pretty clever book, and it's all written out in all the keys, so it's a lot of nice practice. You can look at that. But what can happen is, you just don't have to play a G like. See what I mean? It really starts to sound jazzy, putting in all the approach tones. Okay, so in the next video I will take a look at dominant chords, because we're not going to just play major chords, right? We're not going to play G major or A major or C major. We're going to actually have to do other kinds of chords, and you can treat those chords like a separate structure, and we'll talk about that.